Hey, Prophet Frederick Delaney here, just checking in again. So, who's on trial? The world is on trial. The whole world is being trampled down 40 and 2 months, the latter part of the tribulation. First part of the tribulation, Jesus did for us because he died Wednesday afternoon, it was Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night in the grave. Resurrected on the Sabbath day, seventh day of the week. And we're just wading through the lies. And the first part of tribulation, we're wading through the lies. So when the liar got put in office, Joe Beebe, the dead guy, weekend at Bernie's. Okay, his name means Joseph, which means increaser. His last name is By-Den. Bias to division, sheep and the goats, divide the sheep and the goats. So Den means tribe. So we are the sheep, and they are the goats. So, and God don't know how many of the sheep will come, how many of the goats will come over and join the sheep and become sheep and get the codex, the heart-to-heart connection with God. Be the S word, the super word with God. So who's on trial? The whole world's on trial. And on the world stages, on the television, to tell the world of the law, who's lying, who's not, who's good, who's bad. And then the past, okay, you know that David had a heart for God, but he did get the guy murdered, did take the guy's wife. Moses did murder the guy. So God has used all these people in spite of themselves to divide and conquer, or to resurrect and restore, restoration of many desolations. So who's on trial? Everybody's on trial. Everybody's on trial because they spied on us for all this time, and they're going to dig up your dirt, your trash, your sin. Everybody's on trial. But the ones that have given the heart-to-heart to Jesus and have the codex within their heart, that connection, divine connection, it's like the Bluetooth, divine connection. Okay, well, even if they vaporize us, God can call back every single particle. God can call back every single minute particle, if so needed in this time of the flesh. So as the witnesses get murdered, so you get 6 bullets, the number man, and lie dead on the street. We don't know when they're coming out. We know the precursor. There's 2 witnesses but they know they're not the 2 witnesses, but they're the precursor. It's like John the Baptist was the forerunner. So these 2 witnesses out on YouTube are the forerunners. It's almost like to flush the witnesses forward. Flesh them out forward. So everybody's on trial. The ones who have the codex will be not found and not guilty of the crimes against humanity. But the ones, only God knows, the ones that cannot be saved, salvaged, just like the Nephilim, the fallen could not be saved, salvaged, and some of their offspring could not be saved, salvaged, but they had the opportunity to do right by the Father. But they chose to be bastard sons and not know the Father. Bastard means you don't know your Father. Not a bad word. Not a good word, but not necessarily a bad word. But yes, it is when you don't know the Father God. You don't know who your daddy really is. So who's on trial? We're all on trial. 42 months of trampling down the outer part of the kingdom. We're halfway through the trib. As Biden came in, and you're halfway, like the halfway point, 21, 22, 23 and a half, 24 and a half. So we're halfway through the 42 months. Halfway through it. But, you know, we talk about time is not really time. So God's people are in the 7 years of plenty to do the right thing by God with the 7 years of plenty, while the whole world's going into bankruptcy. Now, in reality, if you give billions of dollars to these different countries, would you give them phony notes? Would you give them fake printed money? What is the money worth if it's falsely printed and has no backing of gold, silver, has no sustenance behind the note, because I owe you. If I owe you something, might be able to write one in trust, but in God we trust. I owe you, in God we trust. But if you're handing out all this false money that's being printed out of thin air and has no sustenance to it, are you not giving the cartel and the gangsters false money, false notes, false IOU? Because we don't owe you nothing. Because in God we trust. All others pay cash. So in this time of separation of sheep and the goats, the latter part of the week, Jesus did for us. Now we had to wade through all the muck and mire of lies and liars that control. And now it should be obvious what's a lie and what's the truth. So you're no longer in the great tribulation in this time, because you don't believe in the lies, don't agree with the lies, don't pray the lies, don't speak the lies. So Jesus did the latter part of the week for us. So the world is in the great tribulation for 42 months. As of the eclipse time, the what do you call the fourth month, 4/8, new beginnings, foundation, new beginnings, the eclipse. So we're in this time, but we're not of this world. So we're going into this 1,000-year day, spiritual day, 1,000-year day, and then some, where Enoch lived over 1,000-year day. He was the only one who lived over 1,000-year day. Now, Elijah was taken up because they considered him 1,000 years, even though he didn't live in this time 1,000 years. But he was so spiritual that he was catapulted into the 1,000 years days, which is forever, live forever. Just like when you give your life to Christ, the codex written on your heart. Devil can't tear you up, vaporize you, or anything, because God can call you back from the winds of the waves and the dust of the earth. Just as the witnesses get shot to death and drop their bodies, but they have to, Jesus comes and asks them, these guys are coming around the corner to kill you. Will you allow them to kill you? Will you allow them to murder you, martyr you? And they say, yeah, because they know they have to prove once and for all that we live forever. Body's dead on the street, because normally 4 days, they don't bury somebody till the fourth day, because so many people resurrected to where they really did put little strings in the coffins and bells in the graveyard. In case they resurrected, they heard those bells ring. Because you could be dead 3-4 days like Lazarus. He stinks. Been dead 4 days. He stinks. No, God can call you all back because the codex, the heart-to-heart connection. So the whole world, all of the people are on trial because they've been spying on us. So everything that we're saying in this time, speaking in latter times, can be drudged up against you unless you're protected by the Spirit of God, the Iron Dome himself, God, not Iron Dome like the country Israel has over it. So no weapon formed can be against you. So we have come out of the great tribulation and trials because we don't agree with the lies anymore. But the world now is in great tribulation. The latter part of the week is different for them than it is for us. We have come to the point of fruition, the point of no return, okay, to not be corrupted. But the world has to be tried. So all of the worldly people on the stages and the worldly people are being tried as trampled down 40 and 2 months in the outer courts. So that's what you're seeing now. Who's on trial? Who is really on trial? Is the trumpet on the trial? We talked about the 7 trumpets, the 4 trumpeters, and Trump being 3 trumps because he was out front. Now he's being tried in the inner courts, but he's also being tried in the outer courts at the same time. A lot to be said about that, but we don't want to... the mystery that we have to walk out, that you have to walk out, in this time to get your wings. REO Speedwagon, which a lot of people don't know. REO Speedwagon, REO Oldsmobile. He made the REO Speedwagon before it was a rock band. He had REO Speedwagon if you go to the Oldsmobile Museum. So that's where I bought this hat. So to get your wings, to no longer be earthy, to no longer be carnal minded, no longer be a mere human, a mere mortal, greater works that you would do. So in this time of greater works for God's people, while the world is on trial, the whole world is on trial. And the whole world is judging from the outer courts, watching the television, watching televisions and different stations, different channels, different channelers that work on TV stations and in the spirit. And we're judging to correction or judging to condemnation, because if certain people get away with certain crimes against humanity, it would destroy countries, nations, planets, galaxies. That's why the Nephilim, the big daddies, cannot be redeemed. Because if they were redeemed and went right back in the crapper, it would be bad, really bad. You would definitely need superheroes then. But then it would be a bad, 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 bad war that we would not want to partake of. So let daddy be daddy, let God be God, and let all men be lies and liars to whatever degree. And all we're doing right now is we're cleaning up the lies and the lies that were within us. And the thing is, your conscious mind can agree with God. But the subconscious, which is tied into the heart, and if it don't agree, the manifestations of the miracles and the prayers may not get manifested because you're disillusioned because you're subconscious. Your conscious may agree with God for starting out, agree, then needs to transform for you to use more than 10% of your mind. Let this mind be used as Christ Jesus, greater works that you would do. So we're in mid-trib, not me, maybe not even you, because you're beyond that, because you don't agree with the lies, because lies cause tribulation. Lies cause trials. Lies cause you to be on trial. Lies cause you to be on trial, to be tried, hopefully and true, to where God said, this is my son Jesus, whom he is well pleased in this time. This is my son who I'm well pleased in this time. So we shall see. I'm at the edge of my chair. We shall see how this next season plays out, because we're in it. We're in this world, but not of this world. We've gone way beyond. We're living a spiritual day, 1,000-year day, and then some, because we live forever. But the world is in the greatest tribulation, because the greatest amount of lies and liars are hitting you from all avenues: ears, eyes, television, radio, YouTube, Rumble. What's what, who's who. What is God doing? So we need to see the spiritual signature, the spiritual signs of the time, in order to not partake of and trip over stones of stumbling, which means false brethren trying to mess you up, trying to trip you up in this time. So, hey, God bless you. We'll queue up another one, try to revelate, to bring it home. The bases are loaded. Jesus is on home base. He's bringing us home. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. God bless you.